I'm Bunty and this is my husband Ed with the Morton.
How has lockdown been for us? Crazy.
It's been a journey and a process and a real opportunity to learn about ourselves and to kind of adapt as we've all had to.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I don't think for me just then, I always tend to respond negatively to that question because it's like sort of, I think, expected. But when lockdown first happened, sort of in March, I was coming off a time of really busy work. I'd had a big project on that lasted about 2 years and hadn't really stopped. So actually the initial lockdown, having to slow the pace of life, having more family time, we had some really, just really enjoyable moments, didn't we?
Yeah, I think in terms of pursuing a personal faith and having our own relationship with Jesus aside from kind of the routines and the rituals of family life growing up in big Catholic families, really it's an ongoing journey, and it's I don't feel like I've arrived there yet. It's a very personal thing that I know I have to put effort and time into every single day, and that choice to follow Jesus and to seek him.
As Bunty said, it's a journey every day, discovering what my faith is to me, who Jesus is to me. The church and Jesus' teachings hold a lot of wisdom that in times of confusion, I feel drawn to sort of go back to. I've never had that big experience that has been the Jesus burst into my life, shook me up, and then I knew all the answers and that I had to follow him. Everything's been really sort of very gentle, but I think Jesus has really, times I've felt closest to the Lord has been in times of just real difficulty in our lives. And in those dark moments, I just feel that's when I've drawn close to him and he's drawn close to me.
Yeah, I feel his nearness to me in like small efforts to do his will, especially in kind of the season of life I'm in now, like just with family life, being in the home, being present with the children. I see so much of my faith there.
I think Jesus, when we read about Jesus in the Bible, he was this fearless seeker of truth. Even in times of real difficulty, you hear about him in the Garden of Gethsemane praying for the Lord to take the cup away from him. But even in that, willing to pursue the Father's will for his life. And I think that's such a great example of leadership in my role as father, to just fiercely pursue the Lord and his will, and do it with love, kindness, enthusiasm, joy. So yeah, I think Jesus is just a great example of how to live a life in the Lord.
I think for me, when I had Noah, I kind of, and certainly as the other children came along, something clicked where it was like I felt like I could glimpse a tiny amount of like the Father's love for us in the way that I love our children. And I often think, that must be how God looks at us, in some small way. And can you even imagine how much he loves us if I love my child this much? And if I could lay down my life for my child, imagine the Father's love for us. And I think that's where I feel like the dots joining and connecting.
And I think a big thing for me actually is been really rooted in the world. Like, we have such purpose in the world, we have such purpose as individuals, as humans. I think so often, sometimes you can get caught up in the sense that always looking to the end goal, which is heaven, which is obviously something we're all striving for. But there is a real need and purpose to be present and active and really cultivating good culture in our communities, in our families, in our friendships, and really being present to that. And that's been a big thing for me since having the kids. Helping to shape the world that they're going to be growing up in. I think that's that's always been something on my mind, is what sort of world would I want for them, where they can flourish and
Just adding on to that, this isn't really answering the question, but as just a further point, one of my mantras that I love is that quote from, I think, Mother Teresa, where she says, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. And I think about that every single day, because it really challenged for me a lot of what I felt the world was saying. I used to really struggle with kind of the idea of, should I be a stay-at-home mum? Is that enough? Is that enough of an example to the children? And am I not contributing to society enough by being just at home? But actually, since accepting that this is needed right now for us, and we're privileged enough that it can be a reality, it's been huge. There's been so many blessings there, and I feel, actually it's completely validated what I'm trying to do here. Changing the world through our children, hopefully raising them to be, good young men who love the Lord and are
just men of character.
And with hearts to serve, I think, as well. Hearts to serve. Yeah.
Christmas tradition. I love Christmas.
I'm a big fan of
Christmas.
I think it's so much fun now we have children as well. It's changed it completely, and the magic of Christmas as well. There's that element of waiting up to see if you can spot Father Christmas on a sleigh and things. Kind of developed a few of our own traditions as well over the years. I think last year we did. Must have been the first year we did our own Christmas dinner for the first time in our house before going off to see Ed's family, and we the kids had a birthday cake for baby Jesus, which we did candles and all the rest of it. And so I think that kind of really helps them to kind of get it, because it is not often you attend someone else's birthday party and you get presents, and Christmas is sort of a bit of a it's kind of amazing, really. I think for them, it's oh yeah, this is actually Jesus' birthday. We've got the cake. That kind of is a real visual reminder, it's just such a happy, amazing day, isn't it?
Yeah, really happy. And I think it really
think of other little things we do, just trying to another tradition that your parents have always done, which we've sort of adopted now, is after all the presents at the end of the day, the children all receive a little gift from the child Jesus, and it's normally a prayer book, or it is normally a book, isn't it, of some sort, and then some scripture reading and things that's specifically for that child, so that everyone gets something different with a different sort of scripture reading. And that's really cool, because I always feel it's really Holy Spirit led, and what you get is really relevant to where you are. Some of the things that I've received from...
it was normally my dad.
From your dad,
writes out the scriptures.
The child Jesus, really poignant, and it's a nice place to start, finish one year and start another. So I think we're going to probably keep rolling with that tradition. I think it's tricky, because it's so hard to resist getting caught up in the commercial kind of extravaganza, which of course you dip your toe in, because when you have children,
dip your toe in. I go head first. I dive straight in.
It is exciting for them, but I think Advent plays such an important role in kind of just gently reminding us day by day what the purpose is, what we're looking for. Get the little markers putting the tree up, decorating the house. These things all matter, and they point us and they posture us towards the true purpose of Christmas. We are preparing for this great feast and this celebration. But as the kids grow, I am conscious of posturing their hearts to the true purpose here, and unravelling, getting past all the presents and kind of the gift giving and what we're going to be unwrapping on.
I think the funny thing is that I feel it's often them cueing us. It's often them reminding me the true meaning of Christmas, and it's often them in just the things they say or ask or whatnot. I'm reminded when you're in the thick of Christmas season or whatever, and so often it's their little hearts that are the generous ones, wanting to share that with others, the gift of Christmas. And Christmas is a reminder of the great divide of the have and the have-nots, and that as Christians we should be always available to go and serve serve people, serve the poor, serve the the needy. Tips for enjoying Christmas 2020.
Yeah, it's something new, isn't it?
It is.
It's something different.
It is. I think my biggest tip would to not get sucked into the world of conflict that we're living in, and I see this a lot on social media. There is so much to be negative about. There's so much to complain about and get drawn into it. And in no way am I denying that some of the conversation isn't important, or that people are living through real hardships right now. There is a reality to the situation we find ourselves in, which for some people is devastating. And we've had friends massively affected by the pandemic and the virus. But my tip for Christmas 2020 would be to seek out joy and seek out hope.
Reach out and love others in small ways.
Yeah, love your neighbour 2020.
Yeah. Don't dob them in.
Yeah. What a way to end it. Don't dob them in.
Don't dob your neighbour in. It's a stupid thing to do.
Don't dob your neighbours in. From our family to yours, just wishing you guys a really Merry Christmas. See you guys later.
Bye. That was so cheesy.
So cheesy.
All of it.
One more.
Is that all you're going to say? You're going to say like...
No, I'm not going to.
Okay.
Yeah. So from our family to yours, just wishing you all a really Merry Christmas.